Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We are going to be chatting with you a little bit about how our new releases are going to help you streamline billing reconciliation and dashboard, and not just dashboard, report and bot creation as well. So we're really jazzed to shed some light on some of these new things. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We've got some topics. I think we just laid those out a little bit, but just to make it a little more structured, we have we'll introduce ourselves so you know who we are, and then we'll talk a lot about the billing reconciliation app that we've just released through our partnership with Pax8. And then we will talk about those best practice templates that are really going to help you get a jump start on seeing the value out of MSPbots for your PSA and RMM integrations. And then, of course, any questions that you've got, feel free to drop those into the chat and we will make sure to address those. But just so you know who you are watching and listening to today, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Jen Six. I am the product marketing manager here at MSPbots, and I'll let Nick go ahead and introduce himself.
Hey everybody, thanks Jen for that. I am the channel account manager, specifically working with Pax8. If any of you are Pax8 customers and have had a demo, it's with me. I'm basically just part of the relationship between MSPbots and Pax8, everything sales cycle, sales enablement, things like that. So yeah, here to kind of guide you guys through the journey of what we think is a lot of value in the new features of the product and then other parts of the product as well.
Awesome. So let's do it. Let's talk about MSPbots and Pax8, what that partnership is, and just a little bit about the marketplace.
Absolutely. Looking at this, it's the bullet points. There's a lot of detail behind those, but we're very proud to be part of the Pax8 marketplace. The integration with Pax8 offers MSPs a lot of tech forward approach, right? The way they can consolidate their licensing and what they sell through to their customers, um, growing their business, streamlining operations, mitigating risk. There's a number of things that they have on their line card. They can basically solve almost any of your problems with the things that they sell through, and that whole piece of it is really efficient as well. So our tools connect you with the heart of the industry and help you operate efficiently, saving time and resources, and that's kind of high level of our value as well. One
So
of
with
the key features. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My apologies.
No, I was just going to introduce that we do have this billing reconciliation app now designed to help eliminate a lot of the pain points that we hear about when we're talking to our MSP partners, when they're talking about doing reconciliation and really what it can lead to. And in those conversations, we've identified a few different challenges, one being billing errors, and the second bullet kind of go hand in hand, right? Because if we have to do all of this reconciliation manually, not only is that time consuming and frustrating because it's so time consuming, manual work unfortunately lends itself to errors pretty easily. So there's a lot to keep track of and a lot of time spent to do exactly that. So, we'd like to alleviate some of that, but also it can lead to interrupted client service. Talking about managing subscriptions and ensuring that customers have access to everything that they need and we're all on the same page is super important. And if we miss that, it could ultimately wind up hurting our customers. So we don't want that. And we certainly never want to waste any of our resources, time, people, any of it. So these were kind of the mindset things that we had going into building this app. So we'll jump in and we'll show you kind of how we're resolving that.
Absolutely. I think that's a key thing. A lot of value props and things on line cards talk about efficiency, talk about these things. Doing a demo with us, buying through Pax8, there's a lot of things that we can show you for the value that we bring for not just time savings, but kind of efficient and logical time savings. I want to take the monotony and the day to day, the tediousness of messaging people and finding things out. I want to take a lot of that away. We'll show you that more with bots, but this specifically is, obviously from one of our customers and one of our clients. What they had to say about the experience, obviously, billing quantities and accurate prices cost is necessary, but doing it manually with Excel and a spreadsheet's time consuming and frustrating. So that's, I've done that myself in building pivot tables and looking at bar charts and all these different things. You can do that in Excel, but it is not nearly as easy as just having it set up, rinse, repeat, get the data fed in, look at the date range, and make it a lot easier. So real world stories are really relevant to our MSPs. It's a big community, and you guys are, it's the tightest community in tech that I've seen. You guys feed off of each other, you share a lot of your stories, and any good news from any of them is really nicely widely spread. So it is critical in these items. And I think, yeah, moving on to the next, yeah. So the billing comparison or reconciliation portion of this, it includes the ability to compare costs and prices from Pax8 into the PSA. Having the information by having it in a centralized view, you can actually get through the task without an incredible amount of like time and frustration. This piece is really important too because it's how a business, as a business, is how you can stay confident that you're hitting your margins. So we can quickly assess and see what you're doing, how it's trending, how things are going by agreement, by different items, by client. And just like Liz said, having this information in front of you is available for billing runs. It'll help ensure that you hit your margins and aren't chasing your tail or any of your time, wasting time with the error that finally comes out, right? Like you get this really big spreadsheet going and you find out that you have to work backwards and figure out what happened, but we can take the pain out of that as well. We all know that happens sometimes too late and you waste time, and that's what we're trying to help here. So the way that we can compare costs and prices individually per customer per license is really phenomenal.
Yeah, and not to mention the color coding to catch your attention's pretty nice. And I know maybe you can do that in Excel. I'm not an Excel expert, but it's nice that it's just kind of done for you and you can identify that because, like you said, meeting your margin goals is critical. And we certainly don't want you to have to realize it way too late. So being proactive and making sure each billing run is accurate, that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And this portion is, I really like this because it shows, the different times, 15, 30, 365, really whatever you need. It shows the subscriptions that are expiring. Now, a long time ago, when I worked at an MSP, I had a lot of customers. We were a Cisco reseller, and we did SmartNet warranty renewals back when it was SmartNet, right? And this was really a big deal for me because I would build spreadsheets and have notifications and try to set tasks for myself manually by looking at when somebody was 90 days out from renewal or warranty end or end of service, end of life, etc., or all these different things. And I can tell you from personal experience, which I know you guys have as well, more so than I do, is this is a real pain. This is also a position that you can take as an MSP as a value to your clients is letting them know in advance so they can budget, they feel comfortable, they understand what's happening, when things are coming due, when their renewals or subscriptions are coming up, expiring, etc. So we want uninterrupted service for your clients. You want that too. You can click each widget and drill down and see which companies are under each category, which is really, really nice. It's uh, a lot of the value inside each of these widgets is that you can click them and drill down. Now, some BI tools don't have that necessarily. We do, and we really feel that our customers appreciate that with the ability to kind of look further into the data, data-driven choices, decisions, results. This is what we're about.
Love it. And I do want to take a quick moment to just thank Liz from Team Logic IT for having this conversation with us and telling us, the frustrations that you have. It's so appreciated. So thank you, Liz.
Yes, appreciate you. We value a lot of all the communication from our customers, and this helps us immensely. So the interesting part about this for the BI package that we have available, the data sets within them, it isn't just something, we can get you close to the finish line, 50, 60, 80% of the way there with a lot of the assets pre-built that we have. That's a big value that we bring. The other part to that is you can create it on your own. Technicians, people that are manage the teams, etc., are they're resourceful. They poke, they look around, they try to figure out how things work. This is really interesting for a lot of people, for us, because we get to see how they use it. Right? We give people a Swiss Army knife. They tell us how they use it. It's always different than somebody else. So we like to learn a lot from our customers. we like to give you all the tools and ammo for you to be successful, meaning the data sets that you can pull from these, they're phenomenal. I think we've got, I was talking to Jen about this before, I think we've got 12, maybe more than that, just from the defined fields that pull in from data points through the source that we can actually say, this is what we want to use here. This is how we want to visualize this here. This is a calculation we want to add on top of this here. So the bots themselves that we can pull from almost anything. And if we don't have it, you can ask us, throw a ticket in, and we can get that going for you. But yeah, bots can be created directly from widgets so that you're tracking exactly what you're looking for. I mean, that is massive for our customers because usually you have to poke around and find things. But as well, this just makes it a lot easier to point right at it and say, if this happens, let me know.
We love that. Anything that we can automate and make sure we're staying in line. Ooh, winner, winner. And I feel like that's the perfect kind of segue into our next piece of content. Of course, if you have any questions about the billing reconciliation app, definitely let us know. But want to switch gears a little bit into some best practice templates that we've recently pushed out. So these templates are available for dashboards, reports, and bots for popular PSAs and RMMs, and we'll talk much more in detail about that here in a moment. But just to give you level set a little bit where we were coming from building these out, as Nick mentioned, we have a ton of pre-built assets in the system, but we have so many that it can be hard to even know where to start with those. So we know that when you have a solution like MSPbots, you're aware that the data from your organization is really what's going to drive you to make better business decisions and help you grow. But where do you start? There's so many data points in your business that when you're left to kind of figure out what do I need to build or what should I be looking at, it's a little overwhelming. So that's why personally, I'm so excited about our best practice template release. And we approached it with a couple things in mind and want to make sure that you're fully comfortable with what we did here. So we started easy, right? We want you to start easy, get you those preset assets that you can build on. So we built that basis. They're absolutely customizable, so you can add to it, take away, do what you need to do to make it really as beneficial as it can be for your business. But we want you to know that going into defining what those best practice templates were, we use data to drive that decision, and these are the most used templates across all of our MSP partners. So we know from the usage data and from talking to our customers that these are very relevant and will prove very useful to those just getting started. And of course, it goes without saying, they're designed so that minimal configuration is needed. So you can get in there, clone them, and then customize them to get them ready for you. So you're probably wondering, Jen, what templates do you have? What are you even talking about? So we built them out, like I said, for PSAs and RMMs. You can see down there, they were built for ConnectWise PSA, AutoTask, and Halo PSA initially. And for the RMM side, ConnectWise Automate and Ninja One. But we're very, very receptive to our partner feedback. So, let us know what you think is missing or what you might want to see. But from a dashboard perspective, we've loaded it up with some really heavy hitting PSA dashboards. So you can hit the ground running with service desk monitoring, technician performance, ticket stats, project overview, and even some sales success metrics. And for the RMM side, really some key things about what you're monitoring. So where are those? Your machine device monitoring dashboard, your workstation overview status, and your server status overview. So it's really easy to quickly identify what is maybe out of line or what needs addressing. And we'll talk about bots here in a second and how those can help you. But really quickly, I just wanted to show an example. This is our technician performance out of the box template for that dashboard. So you can see really quickly, again, color coding to call your attention to those things that are out of a threshold defined. But you can see how many tickets are open today, what's being worked on, have we breached any SLAs? Super quick, and you didn't have to build it. So I love that.
Absolutely.
We've
I think
also got
the
bots. Yes, Nick, you
sorry,
talk
go
about the
ahead.
bots. Take it
Go
away.
ahead.
No, no, you
Um,
go.
so the bot The best practice templates, and one thing I want to add in here, this is kind of an organic thing that happened internally. There was a lot of conversation around it, and one of our salespeople on the front end, an RSM, he started saying like, "Can we get a list of the things that people ask for in onboarding and implements? Can we do that?" Because I've had a lot. He's he's one of those people that really gets into his customers, really has good conversations, deep conversations, and there's a lot of trust that goes back and forth. So one of the things he kind of championed internally was, let's get a hit list of what the 5 to 8 things are that people really want, right? And bots was a really big deal for us because, if you've ever managed any kind of service delivery or done anything that has managed people that deal with tickets or just stuff that you have to follow up on and keep track of, right? It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. Bots can be an extension of any management. Now, we like to say that they're an extension of your service delivery manager, but for me, they can be really anything. They can be, reminding salespeople to make calls. They can have finance say, "Hey, there's too many delayed invoices," or something like that. So when you looked at those before, the previous slide had those little cells and the widgets that we have. There's dots above them. You can actually, and what we talked about before is drive notifications and triggers off of those things, any threshold that you want, off of any widget within any dashboard. So you can pinpoint it exactly. Now you can go on the back end and do a defined field and pull, the different things in from the source of that data. But if you're just looking at it and say, I want to know when this crosses this, or I want to know when this happens, you can do that very easily. Or you can lean on our professional services team to help you with the various things like that. So the idea here, though, is that we like to mimic the management, the service delivery people on a daily basis that manage people, right? So if you struggle with messaging people to repeat things, hey, why didn't you have time entry in here? You're missing it, or there's not enough, right? Maybe there's 6 words. Whoever picks up that ticket next is probably going to have to ask the customer again. And we all know that satisfaction goes down when they have to repeat themselves. So those are some general things, right? I want to take the logic that's in management's head, SOPs, best practices, et cetera, and I want to automate that. That's what our goal here is to make sure we take that 10, 20, 30% of a manager's day, the load they have messaging people to remind them things, and automate that stuff, the tediousness, the monotony of doing those things. I've been there before. I know a lot of you have. Maybe you're there now. These are things that we can help you with that are really, really specific value to add and change that day. The great thing about the bots, like I said, is they can look at a dashboard proactively, set it, forget it, let it run whatever time you want. They can alert you on those KPIs and those thresholds whenever they're being crossed, or if something's waiting too long, whatever it is. That's the thing that we like about them is they take action immediately. They don't take vacations. And there's history of that as well. There's a lot of things that we can look at to show when bots are being triggered, how deep the problem was, how long it took to get resolved, and really create new habits for people after a repetition of good new change to actions. So that's what I wanted to say about bots. Probably went a little too deep, but it's a passion of mine because it hits a lot of pain points that I've had in the past. So for me, the best practice templates are massive. It gets you really, really close to where you want to be when you onboard a new solution. A lot of the problems are you get the stuff at shelfware. That's not us. We want to be active. We want to be engaging. We want to get you using the product, utilizing the product, and just making sure that it's something that you guys find value in daily.
Yeah, totally. And, we work with a lot of MSPs. You've worked at an MSP, and we know that the last thing you need is another solution that's going to take too long to implement, and you're going to not see the value. So we want to avoid that. And I don't think you went too deep on bots at all. I also share the affinity. And I think, if you're one of those people that like to check the box and see improvement and get that dose of whatever that chemical is in your brain that makes you happy. I really enjoy when you see what you were mentioning about the bots firing less because they're firing less because people are following processes, and you can celebrate that when you see that trend line go down. And I think that's really
Hmm.
special. I love
Absolutely.
that. Serotonin, is it serotonin?
That's one of them. That's one of them.
Dopamine, one of them. Where your brain will be full of so many happy stuff. But we also have report templates too, and these are massive, especially when we're talking about, um, you know, showing your value to your customers. Um, that's something, it it never goes away, right? MSPs, you're too good at your jobs. You're not always in front of the customer saying, I put out all these fires, I did all these things before you even knew. So they can maybe lose that sense of value. But with these types of reports, especially ones you don't have to create from scratch, you can absolutely display that value and make it something so that your customers can easily identify why they use you, and you can make this available to them as you wish. So from your PSA, client monthly service report, a quarterly service report, as well as an internal service report, and then from your RMM, machine and device overview client report. And we have, if anyone is interested, a really, I think, wonderful case study on our website about one of our clients, Think IP, and how their customer relationships evolved so much after they were able to start putting together reports from MSPbots to show that value. And it had such a significant impact. We have a whole write up. So I can link that for anyone who wants to read that into the chat here in a moment. But just wanted to call that out because I love that story. And we do, as we've mentioned, I think quite a few times so far, we really value the input from our MSP partners, and know that, we need you to drive the most beneficial solution for you. So we want to hear from you. And our team is working on an agnostic version of a billing reconciliation app, and we're working on so many more things. So if you are thinking, wow, I'd really love to influence the roadmap, we would really love for you to as well. I will share the link here that you can get to. This is going to take you specifically to our billing reconciliation feedback bit, but I'll also link in here our entire feature request page so that you can see that, vote on things, and also share anything new that you don't see there.
Absolutely. I just want to add one thing to that as well. This was
Yeah.
the direct request from the director of our professional services assets team. He is very, very excited to talk to customers, prospects all around. We focus on making very relevant changes to our customers. This has always been this way. It will be that way moving forward. It's one of those things that's kind of ingrained in the culture here. Is we have a lot of discussions, dialogues about what is actually impactful. Does this matter? What Jen was just talking about for getting feedback for this, for the agnostic billing reconciliation, this has been a sore for a long time for a lot of customers, MSP specifically. It's been difficult. Some people even hire specific people just to do big Excel formulas just to figure things out and big things on that. So more or less than that, I wanted to say, please reach out. Let us know what we can do. If you help design it, it'll be exactly what you want. So the more people we have that do that, the better, because we are very much open to feedback. Like Jen was saying, we take a lot from our customers. So I wanted to add that in there, that this is a specific ask from our internal team. We've put a lot of people together with them, and basically we want to set up calls, see what's important to you guys, and design it that exact way.
Love it. And if you're also interested in maybe being highlighted on an upcoming webinar episode, I would love to feature the amazing work you're doing with MSPbots, whether that's focused on something specific or an overall feature set or something of the like. Definitely let us know. We love to feature the work that you're doing because you are the inspiration to what we do and to so many other MSPs who might view that content. So we would love to highlight you. You can email marketing@mspbots.ai if you're interested. I'll also send out a survey after the webinar with a question. So if you'd prefer to just answer me there, feel free. Would love, love, love to feature you. And before we wrap up and open it up to any questions anyone has, we just want to make sure we tie it up with some key takeaways so you walk away knowing that MSPbots and Pax8 are working together to offer your business really valuable solutions. If you're not an MSPbots partner yet, we are available through the Pax8 marketplace. And then just know that we have that billing reconciliation app. I put the link into the chat for you from our wiki. So if that's something new to you and you're looking to set it up, definitely check that out. Also shared the link to learn more about the dashboard report and bot templates, those best practices. So check those out, especially if you are a new MSPbots partner. We want to make sure you're getting the most out of it. And then, of course, let us know how we can help build a better solution for you. Check out those feature requests, the agnostic billing reconciliation app set up there so you can give us your feedback and we can get you set up with the team members most appropriate to have those conversations. But if we do have any questions, we'd love to address those. I don't see any that have come through quite yet, but we'll give you a moment here in case anything pops up. I think we must have answered everything because I don't see anything coming through. So we so greatly appreciate your participation in today's webinar. I hope that maybe I can feature some of you on an upcoming episode. And with that, we hope you have an automated and an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.